Tape marker, the Northman review, guys. Let's get right to it. Action. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? I'm Ryan, the Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, that Kelly and
this is Alamo City Movie Talk for movie fans, guys who bring the movie world right into your ears, devices. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. This is our review of the epic Robert Eggers' The Northman. The Northman tells a story, action-filled epic that follows a young Viking prince on his quest to avenge his father's murder. Now that's pretty simple. That's a really simple take here. We all know this from the greatest film, one of the great films that a lot of critics would say is one of the greatest films of all time, probably at least from this visionary director here. And I know you would politely disagree. One famous one, of course, is the Lighthouse. The one probably one of my favorites is probably The Witch, being that said and everything. I mean, knowing that you're far from that style, I guess. I mean, it's a huge cast here. I mean, let's be honest here. Alexander Skarsgård, Ethan Hawke, Nicole Kidman. I mean, stellar cast. Great cast. I mean, what did you think of this movie?
So I'm not gonna lie, I only really watched it, gave it a shot because as you mentioned, I'm not too much of a fan of his previous work.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it or appreciate it as much as other people did. But the only reason why I did want to give it a try was because of the cast. Like you said, they have great actors. There's so many familiar faces. They've done exceptional work before. I mean, these are A-list actors. I love them. And going into this, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I kind of saw the trailer a couple times, and it seemed kind of like funky, kind of very definitely Viking violence vibes. But surprisingly, I liked where the plot went.
Yeah,
There's definitely a lot of symbolism and a lot of like ritualistic stuff that gets touched on that. Which again, there's a lot of hidden meaning that probably went over my head. Couldn't appreciate it.
Alexander Skarsgård does just a famous job here. He does phenomenal. I feel like this is the most built and most athletic we've seen him ever in a movie. And it's just like, I mean, I thought he was built in Tarzan. That came out it's been a while now, but at Tarzan, and like knowing where he's come from True Blood. He started out in True, as everyone started recognizing him in True Blood, seeing how his builtness and how it was epic, man. I loved it. I loved his story so much. And you get to follow this son just avenging his father's death, and you get to see the twist here, because we're not mentioning spoilers. You get to see the twist here. You get to see exactly where he goes. What does he encounter? And it takes this story. William Dafoe's also in here, and he is just he is phenomenal. Oh my god! Every time I see William Dafoe in a movie like this, very artistic. Of course, we saw him at The Lighthouse, which was amazing. His acting was superb. I loved it so much. I mean, he really takes these characters and these scripts, and I don't know if he just reads the script. He's all like, he doesn't even, his attempt to try is like 100% accuracy with the direct. It just feels that way. It feels like it comes natural to him, the feel there. Nicole Kidman was just phenomenal here to add that chemistry. She plays his mom in the movie, so that was great.
I agree with you. There was a lot of great chemistry around the cast. I feel like they just mended or meshed together so well. I love Nicole Kidman. I love everything she does. I agree with you. Alexander Skarsgård was phenomenal. He's great. I agree with you. I think that he was the most fit for this role, and I have seen him in.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed him. I also liked, is it Anya Taylor-Joy?
Yeah.
I really like her. Like, we've seen her in a couple very popular films.
And it's funny, too, because everyone knows her from The Queen's Gambit. But when we first saw her, we saw her in The Witch. So that's what I was all like, dude, this is crazy, because it's keeping it almost like in this, not in the family, but in the same element of just like, hey, I got you in the movie, in the very first movie, one of her very first films, and first few films, and to know that she went back to do this project for, and he probably reached out to say, hey, I need you, now that she's like she's a huge deal now.
Because he's enjoyed working with a lot of these cast. Like you said, he's worked with William Dafoe before. Great actor. So he probably knows.
It's a good relationship.
Yeah, and probably he knows that that's the angle that he wants. That's the direction he wants for these characters. So that's why he probably asked them to
He's
come
just
back.
like, William Dafoe, this character I made just for you. That's how he's doing it. I mean, dude, this movie was just so good. The violence was superb. Oh my gosh. And also, we get a lot of, and I know you mentioned it already, we get a lot of different elements that really kind of explain their fighting sequences. It explains different clans, I guess I'm gonna put it like in that terms, different areas, and it really creates those elements to where like we never really knew we can go before. And it's very artistic. It's a very different kind of movie. And it's not going to be a movie for everybody. It's not going to be a movie for everybody. And we'll talk about when we go to the ratings. But just, I enjoyed this movie so much. I really did. I enjoyed, the first 2 acts here. And the third act kind of gets a little messy a little bit. But it didn't ruin the movie for me as a whole. Was this the film that we deserved, Angela? I'm going to say yes. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I really liked a lot of like the folklore, spiritual references that they had.
The rituals and like the rituals they would do right before they go into a fight.
It was really interesting to see that. That intrigued me. The violence, I agree with you, was done very well. Yeah. very violent. Well. Overall, though, I really enjoyed the cast. That was my favorite part. Seeing each person in their role and them, mesh together. It was great. I liked it.
I just love this story. I really did. I loved how it really it puts you in the shoes of Alexander and in the movie with him, and you just follow this character. And you really follow like what he goes through, the trials he goes through, and the character development is so thought out, so very well. I love the character development here, and so it's just phenomenal. And also the chemistry between, of course, because they have to have somewhat of a love interest here, between Alexander and what's her name? Oh my gosh, Anya. So that was very different there. So that, seeing them together it seemed very genuine. It didn't feel awkward at all. It felt very real. Would you agree?
Yeah, I like them. I think they're great actors where they like just flow together very well, and it showed on screen. They had really great presence on screen. I like it.
Oh my gosh, it's like 2 aces. Like you get 2.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Rate 1 out of 10. 10 being the highest. So what do you give this rating?
So because again, I might have missed again with the lighthouse and maybe with the witch. Just a lot of hidden symbolism, imagery, metaphors, and anecdotes, whatever you will. A lot of hidden things that flew over my head that I maybe didn't appreciate the film as much as I could have. But that's just me. That's what I had a problem with The Lighthouse and everything, and a lot of his other films. So I felt like I missed something. So for me, I would say I would give like a 7 because I really enjoyed the cast. So while like there was a little bit of a shortfall for me for a lot of this artistic style, I think the cast made it up for me.
Definitely, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I'm gonna give it a solid 8, ladies and gentlemen, 8, because I just love the way this story really follows. I love the characters. You feel for the characters. You feel for Alexander. You feel for him. You feel you want a good outcome for this story, and it's kind of like the hero in this story and everything. So it definitely takes a shape of form there. I'm gonna agree with you there. Just the chemistry between the characters, I loved it. It just felt so real. It really did. It wasn't make believe in a sense, and also the elements of just the whole Viking elements. I love that. I love the rituals. It was definitely symbolism there, definitely ritual symbolism there, and it just showed. And I love that because it took a very artistic guy like Robert to really come in here, write this movie, and direct this movie. So definitely give it an 8, guys. So obviously we do recommend this movie, guys, but it's not a movie for everybody. But hey, check this movie out still because it's an action-packed film, epic story here, guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call me Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat, Ange.
Thank you, guys. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace, baby. Catch you later.